If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. Kindly share, like and comment. Welcome friends, this is Shishir, motivational speaker, life and leadership coach. Welcome to this exclusive channel on management and leadership, self-leading and leading others. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. That gives us motivation to carry on. Now friends, every 4 years, world's greatest athlete and sports person, they come together for Winter and Summer Olympics, and wherein they perform some superhuman feats and break records and create some unforgettable memories. No matter what role you have in your organization, Olympics teaches a lot. It offers a lot lesson on especially team building and leadership. In fact, many large companies nowadays, they hire professional coaches and get them to talk to their people, regarding leadership, team building, connection, collaboration, humility, trust, and various hordes of things. Now, Olympics come and go, records are broken, history is made and remade, and during this entire process, some great moments get registered. One of the moment which is still fresh and evergreen in the minds of every American is the 1980 Winter Olympics match of ice hockey. When it comes to Winter Olympics, ice hockey is the most popular sport. Now, on one side was the Soviet team. Which had literally dominated the sport since 1950s. They were the real superstars of the game, real superpowers of the game. By 1980, they had won 12 out of 15 world championships. If this was not enough, they have even won 5 out of 6 last Olympics gold. The Soviets, they trained throughout the year. They even practiced sometimes 3 times a day. They had superstar players on their team, and their goalkeeper was the world's best. One very interesting incident about this goalkeeper is that by 1980, this man, he has not taken a single day off for training from the last 13 years, including his wedding day. Now, on the other hand was the US team, whose average age was just 22, like bunch of college kids, quite amateur, straight out of college, some playing for minor leagues, some playing for universities, with no exposure and experience of Olympics. So nobody gave them any chance. One newspaper wrote the chance of USA winning the match was 1,000:1, and one leading newspaper wrote a very interesting article. It said, unless the ice melts, or the US team performs some miracle, the Soviets are going to win. So nobody gave them any chance. It was favorites versus underdogs, the David versus Goliath. But what was the result? The results stunned the entire world, especially America and Russia. The US team went on to defeat Soviets 4-3, and they not only defeated the Soviets, but they went on to defeat Finland 4-2 in finals and finally clinched the gold. In the last few seconds of the match between Soviets and leader, when the US team was leading by 4-3, one of the leading commentator, he gave this famous sporting line in the clarion call. He said, "Do you believe in miracle?" Yes, and the game ended, and it turned out to be the greatest upset and one of the greatest surprising victory for US. Now the question is, and this event is also called Miracle on Ice. Now the question is, was it really a miracle as said by the newspaper, the sports commentator, and the event itself, or a coincidence, or it was something else? Believe me, this victory was not a coincidence, was not a miracle, but it was because of an excellent, great leadership of their coach Herb Brooks, and the way his team performed under his leadership. Now, there are a few very powerful takeaways from this event, and it's not possible for me to cover it in one video. No, this is my first part. Keep watching. I will come up with the second part very soon. Herb has to start from scratch, so he decided to create a dream team, obviously. So his first job was to hire and select and pick up players who would make up his dream team. Now, if you are a leader and if you have this responsibility of creating the team from scratch and creating the right team, now what would a leader do? Now, obviously, the answer will be you will go for talented people, experienced people, superstars, isn't it? Right? No, wrong. Herb actually did not do that. In fact, when he has almost finalized the composition of his team, his assistant asked him, "Sir, don't you think you are missing on best players?" Herb looked at him and said, "I'm not looking for the best player. I'm looking for the right players." I repeat, he said, "I'm not looking for the best player. I'm looking for the right players." Just pause, think and reflect. A very powerful sentence. Nothing against talent, friends, absolutely nothing against talent, with all due respect to talent, but your talent, a talent is never enough. In fact, Herb used to tell his players, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. And a famous legendary basketball player, Michael Jordan, said it very well. He said, talent win matches, but it's teams that win championships. So hiring the right candidate, hiring the right player who is a great team player, who is a great culture fit, is a key to success if you want to succeed in team building. Now, Herb did not go for a superstar individual, but in fact he went on to create superstars out of those individuals. Now, there is a very old and overused quote that is used in business world. You might have heard that. Hire for attitude and train for skills. Leaders always remember this. If you hire people who are talented, experienced and superstars in their field, but who are not great culture fit, who are not great team members, who cannot gel well with their team members, believe me, then it is a kiss of death. Always remember this, business is a team game. Now, Herb, while selecting and picking up his team members, he looked for potential, he looked for seeds of greatness. A leader cannot put greatness into their people, but it's a duty, it's a role of a leader to extract that greatness, to get the best out of their team members. That is a role, that is a key trait a leader should develop. So recruiting a right team with the right people is a real challenge for any leaders if they really want to succeed in team building, finally in their effort to do so. So there is no shortcut in that. So when you hire the right people, hire people with potential, with seeds of greatness. Apart from talent, hire people for character, attitude and temperament. Temperament is very key, my friends. Jack Welch, the legendary CEO of GE, said it so well. He said, the whole game of business revolves around one thing. You build great team and they win. Simple equation, isn't it? Friends, the second lesson that we can learn, a very powerful lesson that we can learn from this event is that Herb knew very well, just because he had picked and selected few players, that does not make them a team. So his challenge was to make them a cohesive team, work as a cohesive team. Now understand this very well, listen to it very carefully. To be a group and to be a team are two different things. Coming together is grouping together, and working together is teaming together. It's teamwork that makes your dream work. I repeat, listen to it very carefully. It's teamwork that makes your dream work. So it was a very big challenge for Herb to get his people to work as a cohesive team. Now it was a far bigger challenge for Herb Brooks, because the majority of players that he had picked were either from the two universities, Boston and Minnesota. The very old rivals, their rivalries was world famous. They literally hated each other. They were against their blood, if I may call that. In 1976, one of the match, these two teams, they got into fight before the beginning of the match, and the match has to be delayed for 30 minutes. So you can imagine what a challenge it was for Herb Brooks. But he managed it so well. Just ask you, if you are a leader, isn't it the challenge that you face to get your people as a group to work as a team and then to transform it into a dream team, isn't it? Now, since we are talking about dream team, the answer and solution is quite obvious. Have a dream, have a vision. Friends, the first step in getting your group to work as a team is to have a compelling vision. The compelling here is adjective. Now, when you give a compelling vision, it acts as a great unifier. When diverse people from different backgrounds, they come together, and when you give them this powerful vision, it gives them a laser sharp focus. It shoots up their collective energy. It gives them a laser sharp focus. And always remember, wherever your focus flows, your energy flows. Friends, your most important asset is your time and energy, and especially your physical, mental and emotional energy. And wherever your focus goes, remember this equation that will help you in your life. Wherever the focus goes, your energy flows. So ensure where your focus is and goes the right way. Now, this compelling vision, it inspires and energizes your team member. It gives them a reason to get out of the bed every morning and look for the day. Herb knew very well, and he also did the same thing. He gave a very simple but compelling vision. He told to defeat the world champions and get the gold for the country. When somebody asked him, isn't it a lofty goal? Herb looked at him and said, that's the reason I want to pursue this goal, and that's the reason you have hired me as a coach. Now, friends, always remember this: when people from different backgrounds, different cultures, they come together to work together as a team. So when you give them a common vision, mission, goal, whatever you may call it, they start investing their time and energy in completing and complementing each other rather than competing against each other. Listen to this very carefully. They start investing their time and energy in completing and complementing each other rather than competing each other. As a leader, get your people not to compete against each other, which, see, this is a trap many leaders fall into. They get their people to compete against each other. No. Get them to complete and complement each other as a team, So remember these two takeaways, very powerful takeaways. Ki when you intend to build a team, get the right players who are team players, who are great culture fit, hire people for potential seeds of greatness, attitude, character, right temperament. And number two, once you have a people as a group, get them, give them, share them a very powerful, compelling vision that will make them as a dream team. Thanks for watching this video till the end, and happy hiring and happy leading. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. Kindly share, like and comment. Thank you. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. Kindly share, like and comment.